can use this nice mic to talk.
Can you hear us when we talk in the microphone? Okay, so
So thank you for making this opportunity for us, and thank you everyone who's joining now. And now I'm passing it through.
David,
Everything is cool and great. Thanks for having us.
you can hear that as well?
And that we can
Amazing.
participate.
Amazing, thank you. Do we still have someone to do the check-in, or back to you, Richard?
Okay, guys, so thank you very much. As I said, my name is Richard. I'm also based in the UK, in Brighton actually at the moment, but I'm part of one of London and Brighton. And also part of the Szimpla Kert, in Slovakia, so
Yours,
it's
yours.
quite small, but hopefully we can all exist. Quite difficult to coordinate from UK. But yeah, how I feel today, I really feel excited. Really, again, thank you very much for the panelists to joining us on a actually short notice because this event has been created very recently. And especially thank you very much for all of you guys joining us and finding time for this special moment for us. I know you hopefully learn a few things and stuff, so thank you very much. No, I think so we got kind of open schedule, guys. So it's kind of a little bit flexible, so it's not going to be too late. I think we started a little late, so hopefully we should finish by 6. In about hour and 10 minutes. So I just so we're gonna start with G-Ras and his band. So they're gonna play for about 2 songs, and after that I think we're gonna start with Francis. She's gonna do some a little bit talk. Everyone's gonna be having talk for about 10 minutes. Then we're gonna provide with the music. Then Luke's gonna do some poetry. Laura's gonna talk. So we're gonna have a little bit fun. Then at the end, guys, we're gonna have a discussion between the panelists. And so if you don't mind, guys, if you want to ask any questions, please put it in the Facebook page. So at the end, the panelists can answer your questions. Or if there's any urgent questions, maybe you want to answer now, so just save it in the Facebook page, and maybe the panelists can also. And so all you guys, and please share this event because I think it's beautiful. The event is like here. So please, if you can get this on the social media, so all people can actually see it. Or just know that this is also recorded, so anyone who missed this or your friends missed it, so we're going to share it on the Facebook page so people can watch it later. Thank you very much. So I handing over to Ras and his band, who are live in Jamaica. It looks like Jamaica actually. It's beautiful setup you have there. And yeah, so after that we're gonna have Francis talk. So I'm gonna change it to speaker's view, and Ras, if you can, and then you can enlighten us with your beautiful music. Thank you.
Give thanks. Well, actually, we are in the middle of Budapest right now doing kind of a semi-legal session, because in Hungary still it's illegal to have live music for audiences. So this is officially some background music, but we are in one of the popular places. These guys who are really supporting our cause, the movement and everything, so they give us a chance to have some nice technical setup so we can do this properly. Yeah, but for real, we're gonna share some Jamaican vibes. Yeah, and to start with, usually we really love to start sessions with this beautiful song from Robert Nesta Marley, who was one of the greatest real musical rebels. And this is probably one of the most famous songs of freedom, liberation in the world. So let's do that.
When it takes the day to guide
ourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for this negative energy, 'cause none of them can stop at a time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption song, redemption song, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for this destructive energy, 'cause none of them can stop at a time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing another song of freedom? That's all I ever had. Redemption song, redemption song, redemption song. These songs of freedom, redemption song, redemption song, redemption song, redemption song. Thank you. Köszi, köszi. Ez csak háttérzene gyerekek, hivatalosan, nem kell tapsolni. Officially this is background music, so let's not turn it into a big concert, because that is illegal. At the moment, still rebel, we are rebel. Can I ask you guys, if the sound is good, can you hear the voice, the guitar, the drumming? All of that? Yeah? Okay, should we play one more or later on and now on to someone else? Amazing. Just a technical question. Any of you guys was able to download the Peter Singer video I sent? Oh, amazing, amazing. Perfect. Wow, such a team. It's amazing. Oh yeah, and by the way, obviously our crew, everyone is animal liberationist and vegan to the core. And I forgot to introduce the youngest member of the crew. He's sleeping over there. He's 5 months old. His name is Noah. He's our child, vegan as well. And yeah, he's a real rebel. He was born on the 15th of January, which is Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. Just a little background information. Okay, so one more. This is an original song, and we have a new album called Rebel for Life, and it's all about saving the future, and this is the very first song on it. Yeah, let's do this. Brand new day. Yeah. For all earthlings, we need to rebel for life. 10,000 years of history. But still no of them can see the reality. Whole heap of vanities and insanity. I make we change up our liberty, break free from mental captivity. Hey, it's a brand new day, time for love to take over. Brand new morning, come now and rise and shine. It's a brand new day, time for love to take over. Brand new age, come change the paradigm. I make we lay down a proper solid foundation. In this your time, we need a new beginning that I and I can grow from. Yes, I and I must build upon this stone that the builder did or refuse. We choose not to maintain them crimes and lies. No more in vain taken innocent lives. Living in love are the perfect choice. Whoa, whoa, why? Hey, it's a brand new day, time for love to take over. Brand new morning, come now and rise and shine. It's a brand new day, time for love to take over. Brand new age, come change the paradigm. Give thanks. All right, not too much clapping. Thank you, thank you. There's a lot of enthusiastic people right here in the club, but this is not a concert. So, all right, back to you. Thank you.
essentially, my friends went and kind of explained what happened. Essentially, everything was pushed, all the decisions were pushed to this year, which will now be next year, because all the kind of fossil fuel people and big company people were there trying to make kind of underhand deals and half-hearted solutions. And actually, the disgustingly ironic thing is the main funders of COP25 were Spanish fossil fuel companies, which is ridiculous. How are we meant to? I don't understand how we're meant to come up with, solutions to the climate crisis when the people that caused it are like in those discussions and have so much like lobbying sway. So I want to draw attention to a campaign called Police South, which lots of young people are fighting for, which is calling on the COP26 organisers to divest from fossil fuels, not accept funding from hugely polluting companies, and to get these companies and people out of the discussions in COP26 so we can actually create change and new policies without them influencing it based on their, ulterior motives. Yeah, we mentioned that. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was obviously we're in another crisis right now, the coronavirus crisis, and one of the big things that we've been pushing for as Youth Strike UK is a Green New Deal and like a green economic recovery from this. So before the COVID crisis, we were pushing for a Green New Deal, which is essentially moving from kind of polluting industries to more green industries with green jobs, like in renewable energy and transport and all that kind of stuff. And we think it's really important that now, after this, when lockdown finishes, there's going to be an opportunity to rebuild. We'll have to, rebuild the economy and things like that. And we really need to, well, the people in power really need to take, the climate into consideration when doing this. And it's so important because, you can already see in China the emissions have gone back to, I think, above before COVID because they're overcompensating to rebuild the economy, and that really can't happen. We really need to think about how we can recover in a green way. And I hope that it's a real wake-up call. Another thing being the Black Lives Matter movement that's happening right now, which I think is really important to bring into all conversations. And I know on the media some people are saying like, oh, the climate change movement is jumping on the bandwagon, and that's not the case at all, because climate justice and social justice are like inextricably linked. You can't have climate justice without social justice because the crisis is so embedded in the like racist and colonialist system. Like, say just coming from the UK, I know how bad we are. Like, do some educate yourself on that, please. There's the people of colour are most at risk of the climate crisis. The hundreds of thousands of people die each year due to floods and droughts and indigenous people being kicked off their land. And sadly, the majority of those are in global south countries, not people of colour. So they are really linked, and it's something we should bring into all our conversations about how we need to platform those voices and bring, when we do have a green economic recovery, bring those marginalised communities to the forefront, because we can't solve this with the same kind of colonialist capitalist systems that we've been using in the past. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to the other speakers and the music.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Francis. Thank you very much. That was beautiful. Thank you very much, Francis, for sending some information. So thanks for coming. And yeah, if you have time, I know it would be beautiful to stay. We can have fun discussion after that if you get a chance to speak to. So now I'm gonna pass it to Dora. I think Dora is next in line to speak. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Richard, and thank you very much, Francis. It was very, very fascinating. And I have a couple of slides I would like to share. If you guys are see my screen? Is that what I want? Not sure. Give me 1 second. Just getting entangled in the tech world. All right, can you see my screen? Can you confirm? All right, thank you so much. So, my dear friend G-Ras invited me to speak about anti-speciesism, the ethical aspect, how it is linked to global issues, and how it's linked to our personal choices, system change. So I thought I'm going to make a little presentation from everything that I personally learned for the past 4.5 years, especially in the past few months. So please take it as that. And I'm going to make just a statement first and acknowledge that everything I share comes from my personal background, through my personal beliefs and everything that I have been exposed to, which is probably absolutely biased as I come from a certain background. I was born and raised in Hungary, studied and worked in the UK and predominantly white places. So everything that I share right now is coming from that background and from the education system I have been through personally. So I'm probably going to do a bunch of mistakes, which I'm willing to admit and very much keen to learn. So if anyone in the comment section feels like whether it's my language or ideas that I present are biased in any way, please do comment, because we have to work together to untangle this web of confusion and bias in our society. I also want to acknowledge my impact using the Zoom call. So assuming that you use Zoom as a seemingly innocent tool for a year, almost every day, you would emit about 0.6 kilograms of CO2, which is the same as driving 5 kilometers approximately. So that is just a very interesting thing, I guess, to consider that everything has an impact. So I want to just start first with what is speciesism, and I don't really want to spend too much time on this, but this is where I think many animal rights activists and vegans start their research about the subjects of injustices in the world. And speciesism is a human-held belief that other animals than humans, so non-human animals, are lesser than or inferior to human species. And you can see this photo that I'm sharing right now, or image. It's quite a well-known image in the animal rights community. And it shows this gentleman who pets a cat that is held to a certain level as a friend, probably the cat with a name. And then on the other side, there are other animals who will be treated very differently as food and probably killed at some point, probably at a very early age. I also want to note that both are in the system of oppression, the cat and the animals, but still there is differentiation between them. Now, speciesism exists in a wider circle of oppression, and the human-made or human-held belief that non-human animals are lesser than, and in between animals we also need differentiation, exists with other human-held beliefs that some people are lesser than because of their sexual orientation, because of the color of their skin, because of their abilities or disabilities or changeabilities. So this all exists in the circle that you can see, and the core and the commonly shared ground between all of these is that they are all tied to a historical and inherently cultural supremacy in our systems. So what holds these, sorry about that, what holds this human supremacy in place? So I borrowed this slide from an rebellion. Thank you so much, guys. And I tweaked a little bit, but you can see that in this house, where the top is a status quo, which is basically business as usual, without questioning anything, there are pillars that hold this system in place. So it means that this oppression, systemic oppression, and supremacy is held and under supported by a legal system, businesses, the government, education, religion, media, and you could probably say a bunch of other pillars, but these are the main pillars in these pillars of power, which we are questioning right now. Not only animal justice movement, but all different social justice movements who exist in this circle of oppression. So just to say a few examples. For example, the legal system very clearly discriminated black people for a very, very long time. And even though it's not as apparent in the legal system nowadays, still because of that historical differentiation, it still exists in our biases, in our language, in our culture, in our everyday interactions. If I talk about women's rights, for example, as one of the other elements of the circle of oppression, we can see that differentiation and supremacy still exist in business, for example, and the different way a male or a female will be treated. If you look at media, for example, you can very much see all of these elements of oppression in media. Let's just say speciesism, for example, appears in the media all the time. Just remember all the movies you have seen recently with animals that are being ridden on or kept as a pet or put on a plate. All these biases are still reinforced by media. And I could say examples for other pillars. But what is interesting is previously these different social justice movements, just going to back to this circle of oppression, and each and every circle is held by a different movement, but we managed to exist separately in the past, through the past decades, and operated in our own field, sort of partly acknowledging the others, but not really working together. And if nothing else, then the single thing that unites us right now and seem to have brought us together is, unfortunately, the climate and ecological collapse, which is an existent crisis for all of us. And I just put this poster from Extinction Rebellion here, which says, "Extinction, everyone gone forever." So that means that regardless to the cause that you represent, whether you are a human or a non-human animal, or whether you are a plant, or whether you are a politician, or you are a movie actor or a gardener, you are also in threat of this human-made crisis. So it is just our very, very core interest to find the interlinked problems and act on them. In the system change study or field, there is something called leverage points. Leverage points are those points where we can interact with the system and change things. We are looking for the highest leverage point possible in our current system, where we can get together and change it and push a system all together. But this requires a lot of study and understanding on how do we actually interlink. And it seems like there is something in our core, which is our shared struggle for or against individual, institutional, and cultural oppression against different species, different people with different abilities, and also to the non-living objects around us and treating them as lesser than, for example, a forest or a mountain or the rain, because we don't give inherent value to these non-living systems. Now, how are we going to overcome this? And what different movements look at is the theory of change, and how can we rely on our knowledge from previous social justice movements. And what these studies find is that we can learn from these previous movements. There are some examples on the right side from past and current movements, is that whenever more than 3.5% of the population actively engaged over a specific issue, they managed to shift public opinion and also force politicians to take a stand. And there are three pillars to this change. One is disruption, which starts with the occupation of a space, which forces public consciousness and people to act and join. Then there is escalation, which comes through non-violent civil disobedience, which has been proven to be the single best tool and has had a lot better resources than violent activism. And then there is also sacrifice, which is a personal sacrifice that touches people's hearts and gets them to take a stand. Now, when it comes to our current situation and the 2020 challenges with all of the climate, ecological, social justice issues and the oppression in the core of that all together, we see that the theory of change has certain limitations. And just go on back. And again, this is just my opinion, and it just comes from my understanding on the system. But what I found is that the 3.5% applied to single issues, whether it was women's rights or whether it was the abolitionist anti-slavery movement, it was always a single cause. But right now we are facing this interconnected, intertwined, very complex situation where achieving 3.5% mobilization for one cause might not be enough, because we need to achieve that in every single level, in every single cause. So even more so, we have a case for supporting each other. And just want to reflect on what you said, Francis, previously. If you're free to join Black Lives Matter movement this weekend and support, leave your flags at home for Animal Rebellion, Extinction Rebellion, any other cause, and just stand there and support that 3.5% with maximum solidarity in your hearts. This is my personal advice. Also, there's another limitation on non-violence, because different regions have different opportunities, and we have to acknowledge that there are places in the world where non-violence is not a possibility, because your family is directly threatened by forces that are forceful, and you would act differently than we act in the United Kingdom or in Hungary, for that matter, where we have the right to protest. There is also a limitation that is very current, which is the COVID-19 pandemic. We cannot use the tools that the previous social justice movements used before, because we cannot gather in public places together. And then we also have other challenges. We can go on and on between with cross-movement communications, which we didn't do before as much. Our different culture, finding shared narratives, conflicts of interest. So there's a lot that we movements will have to look at, whether we are in the animal rights movement or environmental movement or multiple. And however, we do have that shared vision. I want to come back to the positive note that we do have this shared vision that we all want a healthy planet, which means health for people, regardless to their color and their origin and their abilities and their height and whatever the different attributes. We also want a health for animals, regardless to where they are, whether they are in the depth of the forest or deep under the ground or next to your garden. And we also want health for our ecosystem that sustain us and to all living and non-living elements of that system. So we want the planet and everybody in that planet to thrive and be healthy. And there are emerging elements of this planetary health. And I just put there to be careful with solutions, because there is no single solution, and there's no single person who can say this is the solution to all of these problems. So we have to work together and actively listen and learn from each other and allow ourselves to question ourselves in this progress. And I put a bunch of things on this slide, so if anyone wants to read through, these only represent my research and my thoughts on the subject. But I'm just going to quickly go and read up some of these. We need a deep culture shift in our society and in our social systems and interactions, and it starts with solidarity. It starts with looking at our language very deeply. I just put this little guide on the right side, which is about how can we change our language to be less supremacist, less oppressive for for the animal rights movement, but probably a same table would exist for every level of oppression in the oppression circle. How we can take these out, these culturally embedded ableist and sexist and supremacist elements of our language to build a better and more regenerative world. And then there are different economical models that we can look at, because I think another element that we recognize that if you remember the pillars of oppression, the economy is there as well. As long as we have an economy that is based on infinite growth in a finite planet, we cannot untangle any of these issues. So we need a well-being economy instead of a growth economy, and there are different models such as the donut economy, and there are many, many ideas for that. We also need to look at our food system and localize, be seasonal, stop overconsumption, support homegrown food, local cooperative permaculture, a plant-based system, and rewilding. And also for our political systems, we need democracy and a citizen assembly. So people like you and me, average folks from all around the world, inclusively can decide over the future of our planet and all of us on this planet. So that was my presentation. And passing it back to Richard. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Oh, beautiful, Dora. Thank you very much. That was amazing. Thank you for sharing all the important information, and that was beautiful. Yeah, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you for joining us as well. If you are happy to stay a little bit longer, then we're gonna have panel discussion as well, please. Thank you, Dora. Much appreciated. So I'm gonna pass it to Pani now, secondly. So Evie, I think we're running a little bit late. So I know you guys you prepared a little bit. So yeah, that's good. But if you want to finish about 7:30 or something, or maybe just after that, so we have enough time for panel discussion. So maybe 6-7 minutes, if you can please. Yeah, that's beautiful. So Pani, over to you. Thank you very much.
Hi guys. But actually, my speech is a little bit shorter because I thought that I only have 5 minutes. But thank you for everything, and thank you for this fantastic and engaging speeches. They were very fascinating. As you have mentioned, I'm Anna-Livia Székely from Fridays for Future Budapest, and I'd like to share some of my experience and thoughts about activism. Today we celebrate World Environment Day, which is the United Nations main way for encouraging awareness and action for environmental protection. And this is what we do day by day, because we fight day by day to protect our climate, our environment, and all lives on our wonderful planet. So today I'd like to highlight the importance of the younger generations, because I was 16 when I attended my very first demonstration, where I was the youngest among lots of middle-aged. And although I didn't know anybody from there, it was a must for me, standing up against commercial whaling. And now I'm turning 21 this year, and no matter where I demonstrate, I'm very surprised and incredibly proud of the younger generations that I'm definitely not the youngest one at this event. And yes, guys, I just want you to know that I have seen thousands of you young school kids and teenagers joining Fridays for Future or other green organizations, becoming peaceful warriors for a magical planet. And I see you, how you have had enough of greenwashing or empty lies or empty promising, and seeing how our future plans just fall apart because of the negligence or greed of the other generations. And it is a fact that substantial amounts of life will vanish if we don't change our system radically. And I want you kids to know that I hear you. I personally believe that you are the real heroes in this fight. And girl, I know that appearing in a totally new team, talking about these problems, attending stand-ups may seem scary at the very first moment, but I hope that you know that you are much more than this fear, and you can do it. And you might ask that, how do I know? Because I'm doing it, and I want you to know that 1.5 years ago, I could have hardly stand in front of a crowd. I was suffering in a terrible stage fright. And then I had to realize that I must get over my fears to achieve my goals. And I am having no problem with stages ever since. And I know that it can be tough. But girl, listen to me. We are all stronger than our fear. And don't worry. Trust yourself, because you are fantastic. And you are never too young to make an impact, not too old to start making a change. And I am incredibly grateful for those from each generation who have realized the problem and have made an effort to solve it. And making a change has never been easy, and I'm not going to lie, it is not now, but it is worth it. Because yes, you might meet people trying to undermine your message and goals. You might meet people thinking that you've gone crazy. You might meet people who will try to hurt you. Actually, there has been no huge strikes without receiving hate messages telling me how disgusting I am. And you know what? Here we are. Some people like judging and blaming others just because they are too lazy to get up their comfortable sofas. and judging and blaming are always easier, but in this case, it does not mean that it is better. So my message is to get up from the sofas and to try to make a change, because you can do it. These messages can't hurt us. These messages only can strengthen us. Their only meaning is that we have reached a massive amount of people, a massive crowd, and our message is powerful enough to start a change. And girl, I want you to raise attention to the problem. I want you to keep yourself and this whole world in the loop, because ecological and climate crisis are not fast news. Life on Earth is in danger. So if you care about your environment, if you want a future, I only want to ask, what the heck are you waiting for? Let's save lives and make a better world. Happy World Environmental Day, and thank you for your attention.
Oh, thank you very much, Pani. That was an amazing speech. Thank you very much. Very beautiful messages, very powerful messages. Thank you very much. Thank you for talking from your heart. As everyone till now, thank you very much. Thank you. Please, if you can stay. I think what we're gonna do, if you don't mind, G-Ras, we're gonna just pass it to Luke, because he hasn't talked. And after Luke, you can do a few songs. Yeah. Because anyway, you are busy with the baby, as I can see. So Luke, off to you. Luke Scott is gonna join us with some beautiful spoken word poetry. Oh, over to you, Luke.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, all good. Wonderful. Firstly, I'd just like to thank every single one of you who's here today and who's tuning in, because you make such a big difference in the world. And I would just love for you to give yourselves a pat on the back, a round of applause, or a big hug for showing up and really taking this time to educate yourselves, to learn more, to share your energy. And everything you do makes a big difference. So today I'm going to share with you a spoken word piece. I'm a performer, I'm a public speaker, and this is a piece I wrote especially for this event. And I hope you enjoy it. This is a topic that I'm incredibly passionate about. I am an animal rights activist. I am a human rights activist. I believe the world is in such a time of transformation right now, and you will be surprised at what a difference you can make when you start speaking your truth and really sharing from your heart. So this is a piece called The Future. When you think about the future, what do you see? Is it green fields and wild forests with people and nature living in harmony? Or high-rise concrete jungles with the brainwashed masses fighting for greed and supremacy? Que sera, sera. Whatever will be. But the future is ours to see. You see, you are the one that decides your destiny. The choices you make in this now moment will ripple through eternity. And those ripples will go out and inspire the next generation of choosers to decide who they choose to be. They are looking to you for guidance. You chose to come here on the leading edge of consciousness, to lead the way to a brighter future for all beings, both human and non-human. You have been gifted your wisdom and strength to use for the betterment of all, for the highest good, to bring more light and love to the hearts of those that are open to receive it. This is no small task that you have undertaken. Right now, there are billions of beings on our planet that are suffering unnecessarily because of greed and the abuse of power. A child dies from hunger every 10 seconds. That is over 3 million children every year. And at the same time, we manage to find enough food to feed 80 billion land animals that we kill for the meat and dairy industry because we like the way their flesh tastes and their milk tastes. If we could just take the food we feed to those 3 million cows and give those to these children, then we could end world hunger tomorrow. So why don't we do that? Surely you can see the lunacy in this system that we call a society. Every year, humans kill around 2.7 trillion, yes, trillion sea creatures for food. We farm trillions of these fish and shrimp, crabs and clams. They are prisoners from the moment they are born until the moment that they die. They have no quality of life, and we think that this is acceptable. We think that this is humane. But where is your humanity? Do you not feel their suffering? Do you really need that sushi, that clam chowder, or that cheese? Isn't there another way for you to satisfy your desires that doesn't involve torturing these innocent beings? I apologize if these words trigger you or upset you. I know this is not easy to hear. I'm passionate and I'm hurt and I'm deeply disturbed by the levels of disconnection we have on our planet. So let's take a deep breath in and out and switch our focus to the future. So when you think about the future, what do you see? Is it green fields and wild forests with people and nature living in harmony? Or high-rise concrete jungles with the brainwashed masses fighting for greed and supremacy? Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future is ours to see. You see, you are the one that decides your destiny. Your actions have consequences. Free will is not always free. Do your choices have victims? Are you thinking about their rights when you make your tea? The future can be bright if we join together and put an end to this tyranny. It all starts with you and with me. So what kind of world do you want our future to be?
Thank you very much. Look, that was amazing. Thank you. That was beautiful, Dan, especially when you did it for this event. That's a very special thing. Amazing. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
How did it feel for you?
I'm very passionate about this. This is one of my big missions in the world, is to help people create, and animals, for us to create a kinder world for ourselves, for the animals, for our planet, for everybody. And it starts with changing the way our systems work. And yeah, I feel great. I feel really fired up. I hope that inspired someone to make a poem or to sing a song or to go and speak to your family or a friend or create a video, if any of that. And if anyone would like to check out my other performances, I have loads. Just type in Luke Scott spoken word. They'll all come up. And they're all very intense and passionate. And I believe that art like this and music is such a great way for us to make a difference, just like a lot of the other people have said. So I really encourage you, go and share your truth with the world, and you'll be surprised at what a big difference you can make.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's amazing voice. Thank you very much, Luke. That's beautiful. So in the end, if we have big time, I'm sure you got a few things for us. In the end, if we have a little bit more time, then maybe you can do one more for us. But that was, sorry, we don't have that much time. I don't know, weeks before we can do two. But we're going to move on, and hopefully at the end, you can maybe do one more. Thank you.
Wonderful.
So now what we're going to do, we're going to have some musical section now again from beautiful G-Ras and his band and his family and everybody. So, yeah, over to G-Ras and to live from Hungary.
Hey, wow, this was really very touching, very beautiful. Thank you so much for the sharing. Yeah, and I really hope there will be time in the end for one more poem from Luke. It was amazing. Thank you so much. Well, the thing is that we kind of running late here in this venue as well. So we only have time for 3 more songs. So we're going to sing 3 songs in a row, if it's cool. And then we need to pack up. And then I can kind of stay a little bit more till the end just talking. But we cannot really play music after that, if it's cool. So in the meantime, yeah, we just keep it natural. There's some vegan breastfeeding going on right here. And, family style, plant-based power. Once again, this is Thelma Lincoln and Ötös David. My name is G-Ras. And the little warrior, his name is Noah. Actually, Noah Menelik Odati. That's his full African Hebrew name. Okay, and yeah, Luke just said he was hoping it inspires someone to, or inspires everyone to sing a song. Well, it definitely inspires us to sing a song. So we're gonna sing one song called "Voice of the Voiceless." It's an original song as well, and yeah, the message is obvious. So let's do that. Listen, most people go on like them blindfolded, living in Babylon, illusion and lies. Well, but the truth is all around you, just got to unfold it. It's time to open up your third eye, hey, and be the voice of the voiceless, be the voice of the voiceless. Against injustice, we all got to protest.
We got to protest.
I be the voice of the voiceless, be the voice of the voiceless. Only love can bring us real progress.
Bring us real progress.
Hey. Skabadabadapapadidown. Be the voice of the voiceless. Skabadabadapapadidown. Watch out. Most people tend to stay passive and look away. But remember, when you do so, you are give Satan a strength. Oh yes, every human being's mission is to make this world a better place. So get up, stand up, and be the voice of the voiceless. Be the voice of the voiceless. Be the voice of the voiceless. Against injustice, we all got to protest.
We got to protest.
I be the voice of the voiceless. Be the voice of the voiceless. Only love can bring us real progress.
Bring us real progress.
Skabadabadapapadidown. Be the voice of the voiceless. Skabadabadapapadidown. Sing again. Skabadabadapapadidown. Be the voice of the voiceless. Skabadabadapapadidown. One drop, one drop, one drop. Around we Babylon Papi show. Got to make a change in at this your time now. Stand up for the less fortunate, for the dumb-breast as a warrior. Oh, flow. Bring more righteousness. Bringing much more consciousness, yes. You got to do your best to be the voice of the voiceless. Be the voice of the voiceless. Be the voice of the voiceless. Against injustice, we all got to protest.
We got to protest.
Be the voice of the voiceless. Be the voice of the voiceless. Only love can bring us real progress.
Bring us real progress.
Skabadabadapapadidown. Be the voice of the voiceless. Skabadabadapapadidown. Hey. Skabadabadapapadidown. Be the hope for the hopeless. Skabadabadapapadidown. Yeah. Voice of the voiceless, hope for the hopeless. That's what we need to be. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys. Well, officially this is still just background music right here, so not too much clapping. This is not a concert. Yeah, this amazing place right here actually that gives us the opportunity to perform live, even in these times where, when it's not perfectly legal to do that. Brave place, it's Szimpla Music. Everybody who's kind of familiar with Budapest, they know the place. The amazing program organizer is also a vegan warrior, Lazar. So, yeah, you know, our numbers are growing and we are everywhere, you know? So, yeah, maybe 2 more songs. We still have time for two more songs. What do you say? Okay, 2 more songs quickly. I want to share just one quick information with you. You know, we are doing this because today is World Environment Day and the World Day Against Speciesism. So obviously that's the reason. But also there's these 2 additional specialties of today. One is that it's a full moon today, so that kind of amplifies all positive efforts. And the second is that today is a 10 million day, which is in the Tibetan tradition. They have, I think, 4 special 10 million days every year, only 4 of them every year. And those days are the days when whatever you're doing, the universe amplifies it by 10 million. You know, like those special days when energies flow like that. And only 4 days like that. And this is the only time left this year when a 10 million day is on the same day when a full moon. So it's like a very special day. Whatever you do today, you know, can contribute to the betterment of humankind and all the world on a very high level. I mean, you don't need to believe this. It's just extra fun fact, special type of information for those who care. And for others, well, it's time to learn to care because these are those times. Anyway, yeah, so we want to do that one. Actually, we also want to dedicate this song to Fridays for Future, especially Fridays for Future Hungary, because we wrote this song about 1 year ago for the 2nd global climate strike, the Budapest edition, where we performed it, and then we recorded it in the studio and everything, and this is on the new album as well, called Rebel for Life, and it's called One Earth. So obviously this is about our movement saving the future, because we got no planet B. This is the only planet, and this is the most beautiful and most amazing planet. All we need to do is just understand the beauty and understand this amazing wonder and blessing that we can live on a planet like this. We can be alive, especially as human beings on a planet like this. So we should use our special powers and skills to make this world a better place for each and every one, all sentient beings, all earthlings. It's time to change the paradigm, you know, time to make radical systemic changes and create a new world based on justice, love, compassion, consciousness. So this one called One Earth. Emergency warning on all humankind, we are calling. In this crisis, you got to rebel for life and act now.
We got wonder, ain't no planet B, just wonder. Our only measure, we got wonder.
Just one.
There's ain't no planet B, be a rebel for life at TNT.
You like a clean home, a clean room, a clean bed. So how can you mess up your home planet like that? Can you see the state of emergency? Everybody should be talking about the environment. And not just talk, but take action too. Cause actions speak louder than words, that's actually true. I'm talking to you. You can make a difference, to move like you're just a victim of the circumstances. Chances are we go suffer and die. Or if we don't make big changes in our lifestyles. To do the right thing right, watch your steps is alright. Together we can make it if you really, really try. The tide is high, so getting job as it can come because the pile up of the forest, them a fall. Air and water poison by, harmful gases waste and all. Industrialized destruction and lies.
We got wonder,
Just one.
ain't no planet B, just wonder. Our only measure, we got wonder. There's ain't no planet B, be a rebel for life at TNT.
survive, we got to make real changes. Cause we've been heading in the wrong direction for ages. Got to start live conscious and be real change makers. Let's be who we should have been, the planet's caretakers. All we need is a whole heap of unity. Cause we are all connected, so unity is the key. Each one, teach one, be an inspiration. Let's be the change we wanna see. Rewind, refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle. Go plant-based, organic, local. Green up your travel. Be a green rebel. Pressure the politicians and corporations to switch to sustainable. Each and every one of we matters. Take responsibility, my sisters and brothers. Got to go clean and green like red. This our last chance. Oh.
We got one there.
Just one.
Ain't no planet B. Just one there.
Just one.
Our only unnaturally. We got one there. Woo. There ain't no planet B. Be a rebel for life.
Tell my Lincoln.
Hurry up, make a change. Hurry up, make a change. That's the this amazing place. Don't fuck it up. The town to wait. Hurry up, make a change. Hurry up, make a change. That's the this amazing place. Don't fuck it up. The town to wait. Don't fuck it up. Yeah. Focus on how you live, cause you get what you give. Beware if we're really here. You respect Mama Earth. Yeah, she'll teach you how to live your life on Earth. Y'all recognize what is worth. Y'all recognize what is good to do. In this land of blessings and hope, we people always want more and more. Hands up, spit it for you, my friend. My voice become louder. Let your mind be blown higher and higher. Instead of this train, Mother Nature, start thinking in a way more major in the world. There's so much violence, there's so much arrogance, you can't stay silent. I hope you know what I mean. Time to erupt this horror scene. We got one there.
Just one.
Ain't no planet B. Just one there.
Mama Earth.
Our only unnaturally. We got one there.
Ain't no planet B, y'all.
Ain't no planet B. Be a rebel for life. Acting in it. We got one there. Ain't no planet B. Just one there. Our only unnaturally. We got one there. Cause ain't no planet B. Be a rebel for life. Acting in it.
It's time to rebel for life. To save the future for our children. For all earthlings on this beautiful planet. Act now. Thank you. Yeah, one Earth. Thank you guys. Thank you. Just background music, remember. Yeah, so, well, we just got one more song to play right now, because also the little one is kind of tired. Plus, we cannot really play live music after a certain time, so there's time for one more. But before we play it, I just really deeply want to thank to each and every one of you who's contributed amazing speeches and everything. It would be amazing to have, like, after our music, I mean, after this song, if we maybe could play the message of Peter Singer, that would be amazing. That's also amazing, you know, such a legend and you know, one of the founders of this movement, and he agreed to support and contribute, you know, just on the first notice, like a few hours after the first email, he just wrote back. Such a cool guy, amazing, and he recorded this video message. Yeah. Anyway, let's with all the mistakes and all the failures, let's keep up the passion, and let's motivate and inspire each other, because this is truly our last chance. This is the last chance for humanity to make a change and save our future. That is the message. And this is so true. We just need to understand the deep truth in it. We need to make radical systemic changes. And these politicians, even in the most progressive countries, they don't seem to They don't seem to be ready to, implement these radical systemic changes. So we, the people, we need to pressure them radically, in a peaceful and non-violent way, but radically. We need to pressure them, and we need those changes to save the future for the children, yeah, and for all earthlings. This is also on this new album, and this one is called Life Over Death. Vegan for a lot of reason, for justice and peace and for more compassion. 2, better environmentally, 2, ecologically, that's the best thing you can do. 3, physically, spiritually, healthy, beneficial politically and economically. Practice empathy, the golden rule of the key. Take action, make me save humanity. Hey, come follow me on the righteous path. Much easier, me, I will live with a clean heart. Better fit the body with the spirit and the mind. Looking at the mirror, tell me what you find. Family, society, and school just like to be about morals and live on biology. Listen to your heart, got to face reality. Fed up with this hypocrisy. Hey, life over death, life over death. Oh, we don't need no deadly diet. Life over death, life over death. Go vegan for all the planet. Life over death, life over death. Oh, we don't need no deadly diet. Got to be more compassionate. Rasta said that. Nah chop a chicken up in a piglet. Nah cook a cow or roast a rabbit. Nah kill and exploit them for egg, milk and meat. Nobody moving up or eat. Well, actions speak louder than words. So if you want real progress in this world, then you got to be the change you wanna see. In your liberty, responsibility. V for the victory, or good over evil. E for your earnest education for the people. G for going green globally. A for the animals and for no meat for eat. I for I-N-E-T, yes I. T for Jonas in these turbulent times. A for abolition for all worldwide. L for love and life. Boom. Life over death, life over death. We don't need more than the diet. Life over death, life over death. Go vegan for all the planet. Life over death, life over death. We don't need more than the diet. Got to be more compassionate. Human beings could have profit as well from a man wise splendid planet. Pandemic, starvation, waffle, land and water. Big natural disaster, we could have dodged it. It's also better for the budget, locally and globally. Better socially and morally. I'm missing no dilly-dally. When you drop the chorus, you are better catch it. Boom! Life over that, life over that. We don't need no deadly diet. Life over that. Rise for a plant-based food system for all the planet. Life over that, life over that. We don't need no deadly diet. Got to be more compassionate. Rasta said that. Get your house stand up. Get your house stand up. Alright. Get your house stand up. For life. Be kind to every kind, yes. Get your house stand up. Rebel for our life. Yeah, give thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. G-Ras, Thelma Lincoln, Öllős David, Noah, right here. And yeah, we need to finish with the music now, but still staying for the talk. Thank you so much, guys. Amazing efforts and a lot of positive energy. Thank you so much.